So now, we're going to start down here because it's kind of like scrolling down a little bit. As you can see, it's scrolling up. But this is the beginning of it. It says, true fast and Sabbaths. All right? True fast and Sabbaths is the title. It says, cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgressions. Yeah, I should have made it go a little faster, but I want to have a little time to be able to speak. You know what I mean? It says, cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. All right? So it's letting you know that the house of Jacob is sinning. And Isaiah is told to speak like a trumpet, right? Raise up his voice like a trumpet. And let the children of Israel, let the house of Jacob know their sins, right? And verse 2 say, yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their God, right? So it says they pretending like they rolling with me. They pretend like they rock with me, but they really don't rock with me. They not rock with me in the right way, right? It says they ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to God. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Right? Behold, you fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. You shall not fast as you do this day, right? So it's letting them know the way they fasting is wrong. They're saying, how come we doing all this fasting and we ain't receiving the benefits? We ain't getting the things that we want out the deal, right? So it's letting them know you're doing it wrong. You feel me? So it says, behold, right? You fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. You shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high, right? They trying to make their voice be heard on high, but he's saying that's not the way you fast. Say, is it such a fast that I have chosen? Let them know. I didn't tell you to fast this way. Y'all doing your own thing. Y'all fasting how y'all want to fast. I don't have nothing to do with how y'all doing this here, right? It's a day for a man to afflict his soul. Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Will you call this a fast and an acceptable day to the Lord? So you're like, this is not no fast. I don't know what y'all doing, but this ain't fasting. This ain't no acceptable day to the Lord. It's is it not this, the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke, right? So it's saying that's where you're supposed to do it, but you're not doing it. It's is it not to deal your bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that cast out to the house, that are cast out to the house? When thou seest the naked, thou shalt cover him, He say that you cover him, right? And that you hide not yourself from your own flesh, right? So I say you got a right way to do it, and you have a wrong way to do it, right? The wrong way to do it is crying out to the God, seeking God, you know what I mean? With your voice out on high, you know what I mean? You know how people do when they fast, when they're suffering, they're trying to get something from God when they suffer, right? When they fast and they're trying to get something from God, right? But he's saying that's not what you're supposed to be doing. That's not the purpose of fasting. The purpose of fasting is to help other people or to help yourself. Bring yourself out the rut. Bring other people out of rut. Bring other people out of their suffering. Bring yourself out of your suffering. That's what fasting is all about. See what I'm saying? See, it say in 3, it say, wherefore have we fasted? This is people talking. Say they, and thou seest not. He don't see the way they're fasting. Wherefore have we afflicted our soul? You know, like, how do we afflict our soul? You know what I mean? And thou takest no knowledge. It's like, how can we afflict our souls and everything and you take no knowledge? We suffering and you not taking no knowledge. That's what it's saying. It says, behold, in the day of your fast, you find pleasure and exact all your labors. Okay? It says, behold, you fast for strife and debate and to smite with the fist of wickedness. You shall not fast as you do this day to make your voice to be heard on high. Right? So basically it's saying you're not fasting to make your voice be heard on high. The way you're doing it. I ain't going to hear you. Right? It says, is it not such a fast that I have chosen? Right? Or it say, is it such a fast that I have chosen? I did not choose this fast. A day for a man to afflict his soul. That's what they do when they fast. They afflict their own soul, call themselves sacrificing and suffering, you know, doing without, you know what I mean? It say, is it to bow down his head as a bulrush and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I have chosen? Now he's going to tell you what he has chosen. To loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke. So this personally, right? He said we're supposed to loose the bands of wickedness. We have to undo heavy burdens and let the oppressed go free. You know, like all these religious rules and stuff that we have, it's not supposed to be, we have a wrong understanding of it, right? And it say, and that you break every yoke, okay? Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry? Not to deal thy bread to the hungry? And that thou bring the poor that are cast off, that are cast out to thy house? Okay? So the poor that's cast out, you're supposed to bring them to your house. Give them sustenance, right? It says, when thou seest the naked, that thou should cover him, right? When you see the naked, you're supposed to cover him with a good word, with good understanding, with substance, right? And that thou hide not thyself from thy own flesh, right? And you're not supposed to hide yourself from your own flesh, right? So that was it on that part, 1 through 7. So let's go ahead and get down to 8 through 14. Now, 8 through 14 says, we gotta let it scroll down a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna get better at this stuff, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So just letting it scroll on down. You see how it's like looping over, right? So now we're on 8, right here. Right here. Right here. It say, then shall your light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and your righteousness, right, shall go before thee. Okay? So it's like once you got it all understood, once you got it all together, it say, once you do the true fasting, it say, then shall your light break forth as the morning star, right? And thine health shall spring forth speedily. Okay? Quickly, with a haste. And your righteousness shall go before thee. Okay? The glory of the Lord shall be your reward. Okay? It say the glory of the Lord shall be your reward. That's what we fasting for. We fasting for the glory of the Lord in the ways that it told you to fast. All right? It say, then shalt you call, and the Lord shall answer. Right? Because at first they said the Lord wasn't answering them. That means they was doing something wrong. Right? So it's letting them know the right way to do it if you want to answer from the Lord. Okay, say, then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, right? The putting forth of the finger and speaking vanity. Right? It says, if you take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger and speaking vanity, that's the yoke. That's the putting forth the finger, pointing the finger at somebody else, judging other people, and speaking vanity. You know what I mean? Thinking that you know what you're talking about, and you don't know what you're talking about, right? As far as like fasting and all this kind of stuff, and Sabbaths, they speak on it like they know what it is, but they don't, right? It say, and if thy soul, and it say, and if thou draw out your soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy lights arise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. Okay? So you know when they say it's even, you know that's what they mean by the noonday. You got to come out of the darkness into the light is what they're saying, right? 11. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy your soul in drought, and make fat your bones. Okay? So now it's going to further explain what they mean. That's what the colons mean. And thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not. Right? So you're going to be in perpetual blessed. You're going to be perpetually blessed, is what it's saying. Where your cup runneth over. You know what I mean? You have no room to accept it all. Okay, now 12, it says, and they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and you shall be called the repairer of the breach. Okay, we have a breach, and you have to repair it. It say the restorer of paths to dwell in. That's what you will be called when you receive this, right? It says, if you turn away your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my holy day, right? And call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, right? Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob your father. For the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. Okay? So it's saying you have to learn how to hear the mouth of the Lord. You have to learn how to hear the Lord. Point blank period. You got to learn how to hear the Lord. All right? That's when the light will break forth as the morning. And that's when your health will spring forth speedily. Right? And our righteousness shall go before God. Right? The glory of the Lord shall be our reward. You understand? It say, then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, here I am. If thou takest away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity, and if thou draw out your soul to the hungry, right, and satisfy the afflicted soul, right, then your light shall rise in obscurity, and your darkness be as the noonday. So this is inner thing. It's saying go inside, hear my word, hear my voice. If you hear me, then I will be with you. You understand? That's what it's letting you know. And your darkness will turn into noonday, into the brightness of the sun. Is what it's saying. That's the brightest part of the day. Noonday is the brightest part of the day. So it said you will go from the dark light into the bright light. Okay? And it say, and the Lord shall guide thee continually. Who want to be guided continually? The Lord will guide you continually. Okay? So don't get it twisted. The Lord going to guide us continually. And it say, and satisfy our souls in drought. The Lord will satisfy our souls in drought. Okay? And make fat our bones. Okay? We're going to eat. I ain't eating, B. And let you know why you ain't eating. Because you're not following God in the right way. You see what I'm saying? And you fasting, thinking that you're not supposed to eat, but that don't have anything to do with not eating. You understand? It's not no real food. We're not talking about real food. We're talking about eating the Lord, eating the word of the Lord. Okay? It said, guide thee and satisfy thy soul in drought and make fat thy bones. So it's letting you know that's the opposite of the fasting that's really going on. And it say, and thou shalt be a watered garden. Okay? I mean, food going to be coming up. And like a spring of water, whose waters fail not. You have continuous food all the time. Then you know the water is the word. And they that be of thee, okay, that be of God, they that be of God, okay, shall build the old waste places. I mean, you should build yourself up. All these broken times, all these broken generations, all these curses and everything that you have on yourself, you will build these waste places up. And they say, thou shalt rise up the foundations of many generations. That's what it's saying. All the generations that from past time, you're going to build them up. And thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach. Right? At some point, there was a breach. At some point, there was a break in the understanding with God and understanding God. And so you have to restore it. It said the restorer of paths to dwell in. Now to dwell in this restoration, all right? If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my holy day, and called the Sabbath a delight, right? Meaning enjoying the Sabbath, living, having a great time. Okay, call it your delight. It say the holy of the Lord honorable and honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words. Right? So then y'all the ones talking about you're supposed to eat this food and you ain't supposed to eat food and you're supposed to ask for this, you're supposed to pray for that. That's your own word, that's your own thinking, that's your own understanding. God didn't tell us none of that. It say, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places, of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob your father, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. All right. So that's the main thing I want to let y'all know today, man. I just want to talk to y'all about this right quick. About what does the Most High say about fasts and Sabbaths. This came out of Isaiah 58 KJV. You know what I mean? So everybody continue to read, continue to understand, continue to get the knowledge. Read the whole chapter if you can, and then it's going to just strengthen everything that I just got finished saying. So peace. Have a great day. I'll holler at you. Till next time.